welcome to the Varside Spurs pubcast, coming to you all the way from the Varside Arms. I'm Wazza, and tonight, joining me for a drink, a substantial meal, and much grumbling, by the sounds of it, is Andy. How you doing, Andy?
Yeah, I'm all right, actually. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Yeah? What have you been up to this week? You apart from the football, anything exciting happening in your life?
Yeah, I had the jab yesterday, so that was good. Yeah, that was that was my highlight of the weekend, really. Yeah.
So boxing? You talking boxing? You've been taking
No,
boxing, sparring?
the vaccine, mate. The vaccine.
Fantastic
Yeah.
stuff.
I won't do my vaccine joke though, which I did on a WhatsApp group because I think it's a little bit distasteful and also not very funny. So I won't do that.
Yeah, well, maybe we won't. We won't do that. And you taking delivery of any exciting stuff this week, though?
Yeah, I got my Archibald Leach print of the East Stand. Yeah, done by Daniel Griffin. Very nice.
Oh yeah, I've got mine. I mean, I've got mine in order. So
have you?
No.
Oh. Oh no, I was hoping you would. Actually.
No. You know what? I've got so much crap, and like you, like the missus is getting a little bit fed up. Like I've got a couple of those 3D stadium, and then obviously I've got the other stadium, and my wife's like, "Well, are we going to do it with all this rubbish?"
Well, yeah.
just going to leave it there. What do you want me to do with it? So, yeah.
Right.
No. I chose not to. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Enough from you. We're also joined by Sarah. How you doing, Sarah?
Hey, yeah, I'm good, fellas. Thank you.
You sporting a nice onesie there? Is that what's going on?
I am. I turned the heating off, but I think I got it a bit wrong. Like I was hot for one day, so I turned the heating off, and then now I'm cold.
You understand that only Grealish can carry off a onesie.
Was it a onesie?
Yeah, it was.
This was a Nike onesie by the end, wasn't it? Yeah. By the end, this was speculation, wasn't it? So
yeah,
it's the most exciting part of the game, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to let you know that only Grealish can carry it off. I'm afraid. So.
Well, I'm warm, and this doesn't go out on video, so I'm all good.
We can change that. It can go out on video.
No, you're right. Thanks.
We have ways and means. so.
Oh no.
How's your week been, though, Sarah? Good.
Yeah, good. Well, everything apart from Spurs, good. Yeah, which I think most Spurs fans would say.
No. I mean, my week's been fantastic, and
good.
Spurs have been the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
So anyway, should we kick off then? Because we've got a few matches to get through. We can start off with the women's game. Did either of you get a chance to see the women's game at all?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I read a few reviews and seemed to draw 1-1. I think we had like twice as many shots as the opposition, but again, lacking end product up front, so costing us, but nothing new. But, as I said, they just need to scrape a couple of points, and I think that's 2 draws in the last 2.
Yeah.
So they seem, as I said, they'll limp over the line, I think, and see what happens in the summer for them, really.
Yeah.
It's a bit disappointing, though. They seem to keep going ahead and then getting the one goal going ahead and not managing to get a second goal and to sort of make it a little bit more comfortable, and then they get pegged back. So, I don't know. It seems like, the DNA of Spurs at the moment, running right the way through the club, from the men's team right the way through to the women's team. So,
yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. So anyway, I should say, hopefully they're trying to turn a tide, and we'll see with that. So we then obviously the next game was the Dinamo Zagreb game. So my summary was that we were shit, but so Andy, what were your thoughts on the game? You were quiet on the day, so did you watch the game?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling very well. Had a bit of
That's right. Yeah.
yeah, but no, I thought it all went to plan. Actually, we managed to make sure that we got knocked out, so we can concentrate on the top four. So good plan. Yeah, I just don't think people really see what Jose's trying to do for Spurs.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm loving the way you're spinning this, but yeah. I mean, I thought, performance-wise, I thought we were fucking awful. Like, So, Sarah, I know obviously you've been quite happy. I know you've been quite, having spoken to you during the week, you've been quite content with how things are going. So, what did you think about the team selection with Winks and Sissoko starting as the pivot?
Well, you know what? I almost couldn't believe how similar the two teams were when you think about the performances between the two games, obviously home leg, away leg. And so I dug out the starting 11 from the home leg, and the only change was Winks in for Ndombele and Lucas in for Son. Well, I do think Winks for Ndombele is a downgrade. I'm a Winks fan, but that's a downgrade really on paper and physically. And, Lucas should have been more than good enough to replace Son. So really, we had one change. And that performance was just utterly.
Before you carry on with the performance, and you know what I mean. It's just us three tonight, so I'm going to give you your space, and you can rant on and everything, and then we'll mute you when we need to. But if you're gonna, for me, if you're, and I think over the previous this game and the previous few games, and I think even Stace has mentioned it in the past that Sissoko, is just doesn't do enough. So if you're gonna drop a player, and obviously we're going to come on to the Villa game, but if I'm gonna drop a player out of the two players between Winks and Sissoko, I'm dropping Sissoko.
Agreed.
Actually, because Winks is homegrown and would given the support, would give it all for the club, and given the right encouragement, would give it all for the club. And there's been there's been a clip that's going around on social media, put out incidentally by Tottenham today, that shows Tanganga from yesterday's game. And thou shall not pass, and it shows Tanganga flying in to stop to block a shot. But at the same time, in the very same clip, and unbeknown to Spurs, given that our fans, they analyse everything microscopically, it also shows Sissoko just dangling out a leg at the very same moment that Tanganga's flying in to try and. So, it basically shows the difference in mentality and approach with both players. So, you're right, Sarah. One change, but for me, if I'm going to make a change, that change would have been dropping Sissoko and having Winks alongside and Ndombele, rather than having dropping Winks. But anyway. So anyway, Kat, on you go. Sorry.
Absolutely, I don't think Sissoko's offered anything this season. He surprised me over if you take out this season, the previous season, I think actually he was a big part of the things that we did well. He seemed to have a bit of form, a bit of desire, a bit of trying, but that's all gone from him. It's evaporated. I just wouldn't put him in the side at all at the moment.
I think
I'd rather a kid in there.
I think the difference this season, though, is that Sissoko's in more of a defensive role for Jose. Whereas under Poch, it was more to do with getting the ball forward, getting hold of the ball, breaking forward. Slightly kind of nuanced differences there. But as a defensive midfielder, he's just shaky, isn't he? He looks nervous and anxious.
But shouldn't this suit him better? I mean, this is quite easy. Just stay in position, sit in position, help break up the play. Give it to someone who can play,
that's the problem. The give bit,
but
giving the ball.
I think the only issue I've got is that I'm having a go at him now, But actually, when we were on that run at the beginning of the season, up to when we were top of the league and seeming to, doing okay. Actually, he was in the side alongside Højbjerg, so he was forming part of a balanced midfield alongside Højbjerg. So something happened. I know he gave an interview at one point about things not being, not being happy about the way we're playing or some bollocks like that. And then after that, he dropped for a few weeks, and it looked. I don't know if Mourinho got in his ear and said to him like, "Don't you fucking talk about the team," and dropped him, because he did get dropped. You know what I mean? He was out of the team for a few weeks, and so I wonder if that's just kind of put him off. But anyway, so we're not going to get away from it. We are going to talk about the Dinamo game. So yeah, so selection wise, as you say, only really one unenforced change, but performance wise, I mean, Jose talks about not changing the plan, and in the interviews before the game, he said he needed us to go out and win the game, and wanted us to win the game because 2-0 wasn't a scoreline to say that the game was finished.
Yep.
The mentality and the approach of the players on the pitch, just didn't seem right. It just didn't seem.
It's too sluggish. It's too ponderous, and we've been watching this for years, really. I mean, Dyer is a ponderous player. There's nothing fast about Dyer, is there?
No, there isn't. But surely the players that we put out, if they put, I think, Sarah, you made the point. That 11 should have been sufficient to see that game through.
It should have been. There was just a distinct lack of effort, and I think that's what's making us. I think that's what's wound everybody up. Is you go into that fixture 2-0 up. You just need to not be silly, nick a goal, game's done.
Yep.
All. That's all you needed to do, and that's all Jose would have done. Is don't open yourself up too much. Go and get a goal before half time. Game's done.
I think you're totally right. Yeah, but I think the problem was as well is that they felt that they had the game. All they needed to do, as you say, was score that goal. But I just feel that in a way the team was, we'll get that goal at some point and we'll be all right. And it was it was complacency. And Jose saw that, and that's why he warned them about that 2-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So I mean, there's a couple of points to pick up there. First of all, I know, Andy. You're a big person for calling out the commentary against that we have against Spurs and saying that some of it's a lot of bollocks, right? But the commentators, I can't remember who was in commentary, but they did say was that Orsic will come off likes to come off the left onto his right foot, cut onto his right foot and cause damage from there, and he's a dangerous player. Now, we know that Spurs and that Mourinho does do the homework, so there's no way that he wouldn't have told Aurier, be aware of him cutting in off of his
shown down the outside.
Don't allow him to cut in onto his right foot and get a shot away, but
or run past you.
Okay, so there's that as well. So I mean, Aurier, for the first goal, he let him cut inside. For the second goal, Sissoko just allows him to run off of him into the middle of the goal and get his shot away. And for the decisive goal, the third goal, when we're in extra time and it fucking counts, it counts. That's the point. We've still got a chance to rescue this. As long as you put the effort in, up your levels, we've still got a chance to rescue this, even though we've been shit for the first 90 minutes. He let play now, and I kind of understand why. I guess Bale was dropped as well, because Bale was actually the first player to let Orsic run past him and just jog, and Bale just stopped. He just sort of let him. He jogged and let him run past him, and thought, fuck it.
He did.
Aurier and Sissoko have got this. Aurier and Sissoko have just gone. I don't want to. I'm not sure I want to put a challenge